If you're like me, you've probably spent way too much time thinking about how our ancestors foraged around trying to figure out which plants they could eat and which would kill them. But also which degenerate cave people started smoking them for fun, and what happened if they smoked something they shouldn't. I like to imagine it played out like this. A bunch of cave people dancing around a big pile of burning shrubs, after Carl discovered fire and presented it to his people, of course. Then other cave people started throwing in all sorts of plants, until they accidentally threw in something that made them feel a little funny.
Yo, man, I could eat a whole woolly mammoth right now. Yo, that's a good idea. Let's hunt one.
The next night, the remaining cave people started another fire, hoping to feel the same as they did the previous night. But, unfortunately for them, they accidentally threw in some poisonous plants, including poison ivy. So, what happened to our early ancestors who inhaled this poison ivy smoke? And what would happen to you if you tried to smoke it today? Well, poison ivy is covered in an oil called urushiol.
Urushiol.
This is what causes the reaction on your skin that as a Cub Scout, I became all too familiar with. Be careful where you squat. Surprisingly, about 15% of people are actually not allergic to poison ivy at all. But for those of us who are allergic, our bodies produce an immune response, which results in T cells attacking the oil, but also damaging the surrounding cells. This is what causes the blistering, itching, and swelling. But what if that
Urushiol
gets airborne and is inhaled into your lungs? Well, this is exactly what happened to Todd Taylor in 2013. He was clearing some brush and accidentally burned and inhaled some poison ivy. This causes the mother of all poison ivy reactions. Not only will it infect your esophagus and lungs, but it will also get into your bloodstream and cause a systemic reaction throughout your entire body. You will have rashes break out everywhere. Your eyes will become bloodshot, you'll likely develop a fever, start vomiting, and worst of all, have severe respiratory complications. This can result in your body no longer getting the oxygen it needs, resulting in death. Luckily for Todd, he was able to get to the emergency room, where he was treated with steroids, allergy medication, and antihistamines. But, unfortunately for our ancestors who didn't have modern medicine, they likely died a slow and painful death, except for the few people who weren't allergic at all. Evolution!